going. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We are so excited to have the Financial Empowerment Center with us. They're actually going to be with us all month long. We're dedicating October to financial empowerment. So this week we're going to learn about what it is the Financial Empowerment Center offers and what they offer for free. So it's free, everyone. So it's very exciting. And then next week we're going to talk about budgeting a little bit more. And then the week after that, we're going to be talking about credit and demystifying credit and like, what does that mean and how do we build it? The link that you use to sign up for this session, all the links are the same. So it'll sign you up for all 3 sessions, which is nice and easy. If I didn't say so already, my name's Kiyomi and we have the awesome Devon on here with us too. If you want to say hi, Devon.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
So we have Kristen with the Financial Empowerment Center here with us. So I'll let her go ahead and take on the show. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And I'm actually I'm gonna keep my camera off for now just to make the slides transition smoothly. It seems to work better that way, but I'll turn my camera on for the end with the questions just so you can put a face to the name and to the Financial Empowerment Center. Just for this first session, the main things that I want to talk about is really who we are and what we do, and kind of the key areas that we focus on and what expectations that we have and our clients have, the local impact that we've made so far since 2019 when we started, and then what your first FEC session can look like. And then as a wrap up, we'll talk a little bit about how a financial counselor can help you and then what scheduling an appointment all entails. And then I'll leave some time at the end for some questions. But to start us off, I always like to do a little bit of an icebreaker. And if you guys just want to unmute yourselves and share out what you think the percentage is, but what percentage of US households are unbanked or underbanked? And you can just go ahead and share out a number.
About 30%.
30, okay. Couple others?
I'll say 40.
40, okay.
60.
60, nice, okay. Anyone else?
50.
All right. So it's actually 16%. And although this is much lower than what some of the guesses are, so close to 5% of US households are unbanked, meaning they have no checking or savings account at all. And almost 11% of US households are underbanked, meaning that they use some sort of fringe financial service. Maybe that's a check cashing place, or maybe they're getting cards through work or through Walmart. But essentially, they're not using the main financial services, and so that can sometimes be hurtful to their overall finances just because of fees or just not having their money in a safe place. Second question. How many Americans are considered to be credit invisible? So for this, again, you're looking for a number and you can just shout it out. How many Americans do you think are considered to be credit invisible?
25%.
25%, okay.
I'll go 40.
40%, okay. Anyone else?
Let's do 20. We're just gonna price this right this, and I'm gonna go right underneath Devon.
20%? Okay. And now that I'm looking at this answer slide, I'm realizing that I didn't put it in percentages. I put it in like numbers. So we're going to pretend that you guys gave those percentages in millions. But needless to say, having anybody in our country be credit invisible is a problem, because having a limited credit history can make it very difficult for anyone to get things that they might need, such as a mortgage or a car, or sometimes even just to build credit histories. So having that many people who are essentially just not even showing up in the credit systems is pretty alarming. So at the Pittsburgh Financial Empowerment Center, basically what you're doing is you're going to work one-on-one with a professionally trained financial counselor to manage your finances and plan for the future. And I really want to emphasize again here that this is a completely free service. So there is no cost associated with working with us, and there is no change to that. So I'll say that several more times, but I just want to emphasize that again. But there are 4 main areas that we do focus on. One of them is banking safely. So making sure that your money is in a safe place, that you have access to, and that you're not being charged excessive fees for. We also work with people to improve credit. And so if you don't have any credit history, or if you have poor credit due to some things that have happened in the past, we work with everybody to understand what goes into your credit score and how to read your credit reports, and really understanding how to make your overall credit history better, and then to just build overall good financial credit habits. The other thing that we focus on is building savings, and especially with everything that's been happening with COVID and the recession, it's been really, really, really important to have some sort of emergency fund or safety net. I know I can speak from personal experience during the COVID. If we didn't have our savings, we probably would have lost our house. So savings can be really, really crucial, but it's something that a lot of people don't feel like they can build into their budget. So we look for ways that you can do that. And then we also like to focus on reducing debt, because as a country, we hold a lot of debt, specifically in student loans, which have now surpassed credit cards. But overall, we have a lot of it, and we want to try to find ways to help people reduce that debt burden. So who can come to the FEC? Well, it's pretty much open to anyone living in the Pittsburgh area, though. I myself live in Irwin and Westmoreland County. I talk to people all around me all the time that I strongly encourage to sign up for services if they need help, because although we are a Pittsburgh city service, if you can do a virtual session, then we can talk about money. So you don't have to live within the city limits in order to receive services, as long as you're willing to do a virtual session, or if we're in person, come to one of our sites. Any individual that's looking to talk through any financial issues or learn better money management skills basically is welcome to come to us. There are, of course, things that we are limited in. Although we are professionally trained and accredited credit counselors, there are certain things that we're just not really able to help with. Those things being taxes, although we can make referrals to help people, get those taxes done. Finding or any type of legal services or legal advice, we would have to make a referral for. But if you're 18 and older and you're looking to talk about money and just kind of want to get a better idea, you want some education or you want some support, you're welcome to come to us. And we do also offer phone interpretation. I will say that, with us being virtual, phone interpretation is a little bit more challenging because of all of the phone lines that need to happen, but we have made it happen. And that is something that, again, is free to the people that are coming to use it. So at the FEC, what you can expect is, again, free, ongoing support from accredited professional. So you're meeting with somebody one-on-one, and we're taking an individualized look at what your credit score is, what your credit history is. And then we also talk about what your overall history with money has been, because a lot of what we've realized through counseling and training is that money is very emotionally based and very habitually based. So the emotions that you have tied to money, and then the habits that you have tied to money really do have an impact in your overall money management style. So we want to take an individualized look at that, and it's a judgment-free zone, because again, all of us have our own past with money and experiences with money. I myself am a admitted shopaholic. I'm an impulsive and compulsive shopper. If you put me in a store, I will find something to buy. So that is something too, that if you're coming to us to talk, there's no judgment here. We want to talk to you about money and how we can help you. All of our interactions are confidential. So, when we're having our phone sessions, it's just us on the phone. We don't report to anybody. So, we're your accountability partner here to work on goals that you set. And if you're not doing things and if you're not making progress, then we want to talk about, why that's not happening. And then maybe we adjust your goals accordingly. And then if there are things that we can't help you with, we have a very wide partner network. And so we're able to make referrals based on what your needs are. And you're able to, even if it's a 15-minute session, the FEC offers what's called financial navigation sessions, where if you're not really ready to do, the full deep dive into your finances, maybe you're looking for something that's a little bit more quick and directed, then that is something also that we can do as part of our services. And again, it's free. And then just to give you guys a little bit of a local impact to date, I just updated these numbers today, and I was really excited that they've all gone up. So overall to date, and we've been around since January 2019, or I guess we've officially launched in March of 2019. We have served a little over 1,100 clients. We've conducted almost over 3,400 sessions. And then these are the really exciting numbers. To date, we have helped our clients build $1.4 million in savings, and we've helped our clients reduce almost $1.9 million in debt. And then those four major areas that I was talking about, through our services, we have what's called client outcomes. So as you achieve goals in our system, it recognizes that as outcomes or achievements. You don't get anything monetarily for them. It's just something that we celebrate with you to show that you're achieving your goals. And so to date, our clients have achieved almost over 1,800 client outcomes, which is very exciting. And I was also really happy to report that these numbers continue to go up, even though we have been operating virtually since the pandemic started. So although at some point we are hoping to resume in-person sessions, as of right now, we are still doing all of our sessions either by phone, WhatsApp, or sometimes we're able to do Zoom, depending on if it's an initial or a follow-up. All right, so for that first initial FEC session, you can expect that to be approximately an hour to 90 minutes. For the most part, we're able to do it in about an hour, but overall, just because of the amount of kind of questions and depth that we want to go through, that first session is generally, we like to allot about 90 minutes for. That's because we do a pretty thorough deep dive into your finances. There is a little bit of an intake process that, our funders like to get some demographic information, but we do what's called a financial health assessment. So it's just a series of pre-selected questions to help us get a snapshot of where you're at financially. Then we're going to talk about your income and expenses and build out a rough budget just to give us an idea of how money flows in and out. And then ideally, we like to pull a credit report at the first session just to get a baseline. Through our partnership with Experian, we're able to do soft pulls so they don't impact your credit. They're free to you. And we also get a credit score with our Experian credit reports, which is something that, although you can get your credit report through annualcreditreport.com, you're not going to be able to pull that score. And the other thing is that this will be a FICO credit score, whereas a score that you might look at on somewhere like Credit Karma is going to look a little bit different than this score. And then we're also going to start thinking about some goals that we want to start working towards. And then your service plan will be built with some next steps to help you reach those goals. So just some things to consider for that first session. You're not going to need to really, bring a whole bunch of stuff with you, but if you're talking about finances and you have documents related, it's always a good idea to just gather those up, make sure you have those ready. Things like bank statements or contracts, any types of bills, anything that you feel like you want to talk about or that's related, you want to have that and just be prepared for it. Also know that for that first session, if you don't have those things all together, that's okay too. And we'll talk about what all will be needed for a follow-up. And so if you're not really sure if you want to do initial session, that's totally fine. Again, we're here, we're free. So if at any point something does pop up, these are some of the ways that an FEC counselor can help you. Maybe you're looking to switch banks or get into the banking system and you've been out of it for a while. So maybe we look at some different bank accounts that are available and some other financial products to help you get started. And maybe we call those banks with you. In the past, I have gone to banks with clients, especially if they've had bad experiences or if maybe they've had a particular bad experience with that bank, but they want to bank there. We talk a lot about tracking and prioritizing because at the end of the day, money works in very predictable ways. So if you're short on money, then we either need to, increase your income or reduce your expenses. And we talk about ways that you can do that either through prioritizing or just tracking your money to see where it's going. Because that's one of the things I hear all the time is I don't know where my money's going. And hey, I hear you. I also don't know. Well, actually, I do know. It's Amazon. It's mostly Amazon. We also talk about ways to build new money management and savings habits because again, money is very habitual. So if you're in the habit of going to certain places throughout your day and you happen to spend money there, then it might be challenging to break those habits. But we talk about different tips and tricks to help you do that. We're going to review your credit report with you and talk about different ways that you can be responsible or build your credit. We might talk about different options for utilities, things that you might qualify for that you weren't aware of. I just had a baby in March and I started looking into different options for my son now that he is here, and I'm hoping to turn into a little money nerd like myself. But if you have kids, can we open a savings account for them and get them enrolled in Fund My Future? Do they have a 529 plan? So those are some things that we might talk through. And then we also talk a lot about home ownership, and then ways to navigate student loans and how you can keep your personal expenses separate from business expenses, but also how we can maybe help you get connected to some other business resources. And again, just some things that we're not qualified to maybe help you with, all the way things like tax preparation, legal services, financial assistance, but we can help you get connected to the right people. All right, so if you are ready to schedule an FEC session, or if you want to talk to somebody with maybe some more questions, like I said, I have some time now to answer any questions that you might have. But really the best way, if you're on the fence about it, is schedule a session and see how it goes. Because again, it is free to do. And that is all. All right, so I'm going to try turning on my video and seeing if that will work. All right. Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
I do have one question. I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but are these sessions, when you sign up, are they virtual or in person, or can you choose what you want?
Right now we are doing virtual only. You do have the option if you want to do either a phone session or if you wanted to do a video session. Those require you to download the app WhatsApp. And then as long as you have that downloaded, then the counselor will call you through that to do the video session. And I think there are several of us now that for the follow-up sessions, because those can be shorter, we can do like a Zoom call with some of our clients if we need to look at like something that they have in their email, or if they want to look at a document or something together, then that's always an option too. But we're not doing any in-person sessions as of right now.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone else have any other questions? Mr. Cornelius Martin, do you have any questions? I see that you snuck in here. We're going to assume that he doesn't, but we appreciate the support. So if anyone doesn't have any more questions, we can go ahead. Yes, you were very thorough. Thank you so much. We had some people commenting on Facebook too, so they were playing along in the Icebreaker. So thank you for offering that as well.
Oh, great.
we'll share your contact information. And again, we're going to upload this recording onto our YouTube page. We will also share that on social media. And then for all of you in Facebook world that are watching us, you'll be able to see it there on our page as well. But thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Remember, we will be back again with the Financial Empowerment Center next Wednesday at 5 o'clock at the same time and day. So hopefully we'll see you all then.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you guys so much.